Good morning. Good morning. It's your girl Elena. And if you thought that was the end of my story, I want to tell you, wait, there is more. And when I say there is more, there's more to tell. And like I said, I do want to do God's what God told me to do and share my story. So the last video I shared, it was about me basically finding him in bed and I lost my child. Okay, it happened. As time went on, he got worse. Things got worse. At that moment when that incident happened, um, I heard clear as day God told me, it's time for you to move. But fear, and I'm going to tell you how the enemy works. Fear grabbed a hold of me and told me that I could not make it with two children. I had two children at the time. And fear told me that I had been with the same person and no one would want me and I'm stuck here. So what I ended up doing was I stayed. I stayed in a relationship that God did not want me in. But I am also thankful for the lessons that I learned. So as time went on, I had an incident. I'm just gonna try to do incident by incident, so that you can see where I was and what God brought me through. So the next incident was after this, we moved into our home, and again, he did this disappearing act. He would come home and be there and everything would be great for a month or 2 months, and then he'll just disappear for 3-4 days, maybe a week. So after we moved into my home, this is after I lost the first child, he disappears again. When he disappears, he's gone. Phone is cut off. Can't get in touch with him. I'm contacting friends. I'm contacting family. No one's seen him. It's like he vanished into the air. No one knew where he was. Not family, not friends, not anybody. Not even his workers. And so because he owned a business, so no one seen him, quote unquote. But I do remember like it was yesterday. He walks in the house. He comes in after being gone for like a week. I'm leaving messages. I'm text messaging. I'm like down to my last bit of food for me and my children. I don't have any money. Mind you, I'm in a foreign country with no money, no food for my children. And he walks in and he comes in and he gets in bed, like he talks to me like nothing happened. Can you make me breakfast? I act like nothing happened. I'm like, okay, sure. So what he used to do is he'll take his clothes off and, get undressed, and I will take his clothes and put them in the laundry. So that morning, I went and made breakfast. I brought the breakfast to him. He ate his breakfast. He had taken his items off. They were laying on the floor. I picked the items up after he ate his breakfast. And I was sitting in this Chase lounge. I'll never forget. I was sitting in this Chase lounge, and when I went to go pick up his items to clean up, I went to go clean his pockets out. Like, you clean the pockets out before you put the things in the laundry. Now, long behold, what I pulled out of his pocket, I was not expecting. But it was a box of protection. And the box of protection was a pack of 3. But it was only one there. Now, mind you, he was gone for, I think, about a week, or maybe, it was between 3 to 7 days. I can't remember because it was so long ago. But anywho, I pick it up and I'm like, wait a minute. What's this about? I'm asking him. I'm asking any question that any man or woman would ask their spouse. He rolls over and he looks me in my face with this smirk that was so uncomfortable. And he giggles and says, you should be happy that I'm using protection. And I can remember at that very moment, the feeling that came over me. I did not feel like myself. Elena was gone. I don't know who had entered my body, but Elena had exited the building, and whoever the enemy had sent had entered that building. And from that moment on, I became the most aggressive woman that anyone ever knew. I was down to fight any and everybody at any time, because no, you was not gonna disrespect me. So after he said that, I remember sitting on the Chase lounge. I'm sitting there and something came over me, and it was an evil thought. You can't let him get away with this. So I get up as if I was getting my the dishes that he had, his plates and dishes. And I remember just with a glass on him. And the thought that I had was, I didn't care what happened, because at that moment I was so hurt. And now looking back, because I know God now, even though we fail, even though we sin, even though we make mistakes, I have come a long way. And looking back now, I know that the enemy had taken control over me, because I felt no remorse for nothing I had done. And I felt like, if you can hurt me, I can hurt you. And that was my thoughts. So, like I said, I will be sharing some like stories at the time, you know, just stories bit by bit. And then I'll tell you how I came back from that situation. So after that, he was taken to the hospital, and I still felt no remorse. But I did feel not a sense of relief, but I felt different. I felt as if I was no longer me. I know now that, like I said, the enemy had taken over me 100%. And from that point on, that's when my drinking began. That's when I started smoking cigarettes. I was angry. I was just beyond aggressive. And I vowed from that day that if anybody tried to hurt me, it was whatever. It was whatever. At any time I was down to do whatever. I was ready. And I don't want to say hate, that's a strong word. I dislike the fact that that was in me, but I am grateful that I went through the things that I went through, because now, even when I do mess up, I can discern when an attack is coming. I can discern it. And sometimes I can discern it and I don't go into prayer like I should. And it gets out of control. But now, I'm just thankful that God allowed me to go through so many trials and tribulations in life, so that I am able to share this story and many other stories to people, so that they know that, no, you are not alone. No, your actions are not validated. But if you know who are sending your attacks, you can pretty much stop them. Yes, I am thankful that God has taken me through this so much trouble and drama and heartache and pain, because I am able and willing to share my pain and my turmoil and my strife in my life, so that others can hopefully know that they're not alone, and they can go through their journey not alone, with someone who's been there, who's done that, and who's willing to share and willing to love on them the same way that I felt, you know, in a way that I felt like I needed someone at that time. Because at that time, no one understood me. I was to blame for everything. It was like a huge shift. Everything I did was wrong. Anything I said was wrong. The enemy had made me feel like everyone was against me. And looking back, I don't think that everyone was against me, but the mind tricks that the enemy play on you can have you feeling so confused and so out of body that you don't trust anybody. You can't trust anybody, because you're not even living in a real space at that time. He has gained full control over your mind, over your situation, over your thoughts, over your words. And at that moment, you are not living in a real situation. You are living in this box, this game, and he's basically like playing you to do evil things, to have evil thoughts, to say evil things. And I just wish I knew how to pray back then. I just wish I knew how to understand his attacks are really weak. But even when you go through them, you still have to be able to praise God through the storms. So if you are going through something, if you are going through abuse, if you are going through any kind of pain or confusion, I'm never going to tell you to stay in abuse. Never. If you have prayed and you heard God tell you to leave that situation, leave. Don't be scared of what may happen. Don't be scared of not being able to make it. You will make it. You can make it. like I said, I was a single mom. I became a single mom after this stuff happened. And I made it by the grace of God. I felt then it was by my hands. But now I know that God had his hand over my life the whole time, even in my darkest times. So if you are going through something and you feel like you have no way out, there is